Hi everyone, I am Rosa Maria Frade and today I'm going to show you my lesson plan to teach present perfect tense. The level I choose is pre-intermediate. The age 16 years or more. I mean this lesson plan is for adults. The time is about 50 minutes more or less. So first of all, I want to show you the different steps to these lesson plans, and then we are going to talk about in detail about each steps. First of all, the learning objectives for this is that at the end of the lesson, the student will be able to understand different situations in which it's necessary to use present perfect tense. The second one is make a distinction between present perfect and simple past tense. And finally, produce sentences related to their own lives using present perfect tense. The materials for this are iconic pictures related to several countries, also grammar infographic, present perfect versus past simple, exercise word checked. The idea is to convert in past simple to present perfect, and also whiteboards and pens. Another steps are warm up. The idea is to spend 5 minutes in this activity. Next, the presentation. The time is 15 minutes. Also practice for 5 minutes, then productions for 10 minutes. After that, closing for 15 minutes, and finally, the assessment and evaluation. Okay, the warm-up is for about 5 minutes. So the idea is to showing students different pictures related to places or countries around the world. For example, I'm going to show them the Eiffel Tower in France, the Taj Mahal in India, the New York in the United States, the Great Wall in China, the Chichen Itza Pyramid in Mexico, the Tower of London in London, and finally Cartagena, Colombia. So after to show this picture, I'm going to ask my student if they have been there before. If not, the idea is that they imagine about the activities that is possible to do in these places. For example, a student could tell that in New York it's possible to go sightseeing, to walk throughout the Fifth Avenue, something like that, or possible at the Great Wall in China is great to walk throughout the wall or something like that. When I hear the activities that is possible to do, the idea is to write at the blackboard, at the board or at the blackboard, these sentences. This activity is good because the idea is to encourage students to think about activities to do in these places. Well, the presentation of lesson plans is about 15 minutes. So to develop this part, I'm going to show my student this grammar infographic. In this, they can appreciate the difference between present perfect and simple past. So at the first part, I show them the structure of these two things. Then the function, I mean when is necessary to use present perfect and when is necessary to use simple past. The idea is the student understand that the present perfect, the action happened in an unspecified time before or an unfinished time. I mean, we don't know exactly when the action happened. On the contrary, simple past, we know exactly when the action was made or happened. It's important to talk about the common time phrases at present perfect. For example, the more common are today, this week, this year, in my lifetime. And on simple past, the common phrases are yesterday, last week, 2 days ago, last night, etc. I think for me it's going to be very useful to use this timeline because the students can appreciate exactly when the action happened. So to reinforce the presentation, I'm going to write or I'm going to say the different sentences, and the idea is that the students mark the board in the timeline when they think the action happening. For example, when I write at the board, I have tried Korean food. The idea is the students mark at the timeline when they think the action happened, like I show in this example. The practice is for about 5 minutes. So the idea is to deliver this grammar word check to my students. As you can see, there are 10 sentences that are affirmative, negative, and questions. I wanted to show them this structure about present perfect in order to help them to develop the activity in less time and to help them to do the activity in the best way. Okay, for productions, I'm going to spend about 10 minutes. So the idea is to work again with this picture about different countries around the world. The idea to this part of the lesson is to make or to do a game related to guessing. So the idea is that one student choose one of these iconic pictures. For example, this one related to Chichen Itza pyramid. The student must talk about activities that he has done in this place, but he doesn't say the name of the place. For example, the student could say, I have climbed the pyramid, I have eaten chile, I have sung rancheras. And the rest of the students must answer, for example, have you ever been in Mexico? The idea is to say, and the rest of the class need to answer the question. And practice this activity during 10 minutes, more or less. Closing the activity is going to take about 15 minutes. The idea is to give the students feedback about the activity in order to explain the mistake and make the correction about it. Finally, the assessment and evaluation, in which the student must provide good example about their own experience using present perfect tense. So the next class, the student needs to present a report related with this tense about present perfect tense. So thank you very much for your time. It was my work about my lesson plans. Thanks.